I'm Haley.
And I'm Kaylee.
And this week, we're reviewing Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness. Mm-hmm. I don't even think it says 2 in there, but you know what it is.
Close enough. Kiki.
Look at the legs.
A horror movie. Now that's scarier than Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
True. But before we get in, I actually wanted to tell a story because I'm kind of upset.
Okay. Is this a story you told me about?
No.
So I get to hear this
saved
fresh.
it for this. So this is something I have to share about myself. It's a little personal. But I have bunions.
Okay.
And it's not my fault. It's hereditary. So blame my father. So I decided to go to a podiatrist because my bunions hurt. I'm getting older. This is all so sad. I know. It's so depressing.
Okay.
So I was like, let me go to a podiatrist because I'm trying to like take care of myself, figure out how to take care of my body. Okay. And it's like if I'm doing yoga from like plank pose to downward dog, it's like my bunions shouldn't hurt, but they do. They hurt when I'm walking. They hurt every day. So I'm like, let me go in. And before I went, I was talking to my dad. I was like, as long as like they don't give me my only option is being surgery, then like that will be good. Mm-hmm. So I was very excited. I was in a good mood. I was on time.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you were telling me there's
Sorry, no, that was me.
I was on time. I was actually early. And so I got there. This man looked at my feet. He said, oh, yeah, you do have bunions.
Wait, the doctor? Is there ever a moment where you have to tell somebody that it's truly not bunions?
I don't know. He like really looked at my feet for 2 seconds, told me, he's like, oh yeah, I see them. You have bunions.
Said, nope, not any growth here. Not any concerning growth right there. That's a bunion.
No, he's like, this is a bunion. And he was like, yeah, so like basically your option is surgery.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't like whack it with a book.
Boom, put it back in place.
What did they cost from? Is it truly just hereditary or like?
Yeah, it's just hereditary.
Oh, and what is it exactly? Just.
It's like the bone is
It's the bone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you can't even you can't whack that with a book?
No, you can't whack it with a book.
So they just shave it down?
Yeah, so it's like a 30-minute procedure. It takes about 1 to 2 weeks to recover, and they do 1 foot at a time. Yeah, so I was kind of mad that he really looked at my feet for 2 seconds, told me that I had bunions, and then was like, that's it. And I was like, oh, is there like any other like options? And he was like, oh, get wider shoes.
Oh, he's funny. He's a funny guy.
I was like, okay. And then he kept asking me if I had any questions. And when I was in the middle of my question, he would interrupt me and like answer it. I was like, can you let me finish?
You're like, sir, this is new information to me. I just got here. He's
I didn't even know I had bunions on. It's just like he really told me I had bunions and then left basically. I had to like beg him for information about it. Mm-hmm. And so I go out to the waiting room and there's like a guy out there and he's very chatty, very chatty. Like I heard them talking before I got there. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, so today is going to be $80. I was like, oh.
For him to say you got a bunion and you need surgery. Thank you. Should have been a foot doctor.
I was pissed. And so I was trying to leave and that chatty Kathy in the waiting room was like, $80? I was like, I know.
You said, you know what? Say it again.
He's like, dang, what kind of insurance you got? And I was like, clearly the bad one, okay? And then the other thing was like they give you paperwork, right? And there's like a whole bunch of clauses where there's like, put your signature here, blah, 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 blah. And I looked at one of them. I was reading it closely. It was like, this is for you to allow us to put basically your feet on TikTok and Instagram on their social media.
Do you have to sign it?
Well, there's an option for you to decline.
Okay.
But like every gap for like where the signature is, it's highlighted. So if you're not reading it and you're just signing,
you'll just sign it.
Exactly. I'm like, there's no way I'm about to get roasted for free. Actually, I'm paying you to have my feet roasted on the internet.
People pay for that.
Exactly.
Don't post your feet pics online for free.
They're not gonna be like, ooh, whose hobbit feet are these? Like, no, they're not doing that to me. I already admitted to y'all that I have bunions. I don't need everybody on TikTok being like, oh, what the fuck?
Damn.
So yeah, it was a bad experience. I was really mad.
So you go get surgery now?
Not this time, fool. Okay. I'm gonna wait till they hurt. He was like, don't do that, but I'm gonna do it because of him.
Anyways, this was already $80. You know how much it's gonna be when they actually do something,
exactly.
Sir? No,
so I don't know. It's just, it kind of sucks because I was really hoping that he would be like, oh, here's like some other options, and now I'm afraid to go to a podiatrist. That was my week.
Just story of the day. What a week.
It was awful. I was so pissed because I was really excited for this appointment. I was like, man, I'm about to feel good. I'm about to be able to walk without any pain. He really had me like with my feet out, no socks, no shoes, nothing. And he said, you got bunions.
He said, put them up.
That's basically basically what he said. He's like,
okay, that was enough.
I was pissed. But yes, today we're actually talking about Doctor Strange, not my bunions, but those are strange.
We're done.
That's the end of the podcast. But I guess I'll get started.
Let's hear that summary for those of y'all who don't know what this movie's about.
What the show is about. So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a sad attempt at a multiverse adventure. Following the aftermath of Endgame, Strange isn't sure if he made the right call when it came to saving the world from Thanos. With the arrival of America, Strange gets the opportunity to see how his other selves handle the task of saving the world. However, America's power to traverse the multiverse captures the attention of Wanda. Distraught by the events that took place at Westview, Wanda needs the power to travel through the multiverse in order to be with her family once again. With Wanda on the hunt for America, Strange must learn from the mistakes of his other selves in order to save the world once again.
Wonderful.
I hated this movie.
I could tell by your descriptions. So we watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This movie... My tongue got caught on my tooth. This movie was obviously released in 2022. It's an action adventure. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Too damn long.
And it's PG-13. And I would probably say that it would maybe a little sci-fi in there.
Yeah.
So the ratings. IMDb gave it a 7.4 out of 10.
That's high.
Which is pretty high for IMDb, considering that all of their ratings are always like 6 point something percent. So this was, I guess, a little bit higher. Not the highest we've seen.
No. That was everything everywhere all at once.
Yes, I think so. And then Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 74% and the audience gave it an 86%. So it looks like the critics are a little bit more judgy about it. But, you know, the audience, what can you do with these Marvel fans? They can do no wrong. You know, they just love everything they put out.
I don't see how. How can we rip apart DC so easily, but we can't do this for Marvel?
There are very few Marvel movies that I would see on purpose, you know, unless it's like a Sunday afternoon, raining, you're just chilling and it's on.
I still want to put it back on. Oop.
Damn. There's very few. But you know what? The diehard fans, the comic book fans, they're going to do what they do.
Yes.
And if there's anything I respect about it, is they're going to stick beside these movies.
Yeah, you need to get a man who will treat you the way that they treat Marvel movies.
You can do no wrong. Because, listen. Uh-oh.
Anyways.
So, the director is Sam Raimi, and the writer is Michael Waldron. And you may recognize Sam Raimi, as he made the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. Sorry, hold on. It's really big.
I don't know what that is.
It's really big.
What is?
His dick.
Nice.
Clearly.
We got him.
Hey! Yeah, shut up. So anyway, so he made these Spider-Man movies, and they did mention frequently throughout the interview, kind of that I'll discuss later, that the third one was a very low rated. I don't remember that one.
I don't think I've seen that one all the way through, but I'm planning on rewatching them. Also, the music in this movie was by Danny Elfman, who also did the music in Spider-Man 2. Well,
the original
also
with
the Tobey Maguire ones. But Danny Elfman, if you know, you know, he plays Jack Skellington in A Nightmare Before Christmas.
He can sing. Wow.
Love that man.
Full circle. So the credits or the cast, not credits, sorry. Benedict Cumberbatch. What a name. He is obviously...
I like the way you say it.
Benedict, you got to throw an almost accent in there, but not quite. Dr. Stephen Strange. Elizabeth Olsen is Wanda, a.k.a. the Scarlet Witch. And Chedowell Ejiofor. Yes. Ejiofor.
She cheered.
Sorry, I literally put the pronunciation. I have to look at it again. Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'm gonna say that one more time because it's not flowing very well. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays Baron Mordo. Benedict Wong plays Wong. Xochitl Gomez plays America Chavez. Rachel McAdams is Dr. Christine Palmer. Jet Klein is Tommy Maximoff. Jillian Hilliard is Billy Maximoff. Michael Stolberg is Dr. Nick West. Haley Otwell is Captain Carter. Anson Mount is Black Bolt. Lashana Lynch is Captain Marvel. John Krasinski is Reed Richards, and Patrick Stewart is Professor Charles Xavier. And that concludes the cast. So a lot of big names. And I will say, I'm getting tired of big names being in these Marvel movies. Because then at the end, you saw, Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron.
Another accent thrown in there.
Thank you. I am. Was that French?
Was it?
It is now. Bro, get down. Sorry.
A menace.
I just feel like it just makes the movies more gimmicky. I don't know how to explain it. They're already kind of getting a little gimmicky, in my opinion, a little cheesy. And then you just keep adding big actors after big actors after big actors. And I'm like, oh, it just looks like this is just all for like fun.
Yeah.
It's for fun.
It is.
And
that's
maybe
what Marvels are.
Yes, I guess. But it takes away from... Kiki, you can't be like this. You're usually not like this.
It's literally every 10 seconds today.
Jeez. Sorry, you're editing. Or not. Shit.
Just keep it in.
Just keep going. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, okay. Because I feel like when I see actors too many times, I can no longer see the character of the movie. I'm just seeing the star, the actor. So it just takes away the movie from everything a little bit. But I get it. They need, big names to kind of bring stuff in. But I'm just kind of underwhelmed at this point. Like, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I don't care that anybody else is in this movie. Here goes another big name. It's a blockbuster. It is what it is. But it is Marvel. Some people really enjoy that. So I'm not going to say that. Clearly, it's not made for me. I'm not the audience here for these movies.
No.
But I guess I just would like a little bit more of, I don't know, surprise. But anyway, we're moving along.
We're not going to get that ever.
No. So Rolling Stone had an interview with the director, and I'll just call him Raimi from now on. So the original director for this movie was Scott Derrickson, and he, I think, wrote the first movie.
Okay.
But he left the second movie due to creative differences. So Raimi had to come in and start from an already written script and an unchanged deadline. So the deadline was the same, and he had a script already that he kind of had to rewrite and make it to, I think, a little bit more what the Marvel Studios wanted. And
these stories that start like that never end well. Like, this is the same thing that happened with the Justice League, the first one.
Oh, they did rewrite that one.
Yeah, because Zack Snyder didn't want to do it because he was like, no, I want to make it long. They're like, no, sorry. And so somebody else had to step in, and they're like, oh shit, we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want.
Cut it up. Anyway. So, and you may know him, Raimi, as he created The Evil Dead for $350,000 when he was 20 years old.
What am I doing?
An icon. Yeah, what are we doing?
I haven't made anything.
I haven't made any movies. And as you know, this is a sequel to Doctor Strange, but not only is it the sequel to Doctor Strange, but it's also the sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home and WandaVision, if you kind of picked up on that. Obviously, the WandaVision came into play, which I didn't see. I know enough about the show that I could kind of piece together what was going on. So actually, WandaVision and No Way Home were supposed to come after this movie, but due to scheduling, and I don't know why they decided, but they ended up reversing the order. So the other two came first before Doctor Strange.
I wonder if that would have changed plot devices in either show or movie.
I don't know, because maybe a little bit. I feel like maybe for Spider-Man, but I feel like not so much for WandaVision. I don't know. Maybe not Spider-Man either, because like, why would it?
Because the end, it made it look like there was like a whole bunch of monsters that were on the brink of coming, which kind of like would lead into like these monsters coming in now with Doctor Strange too. So that's my only thing. It's like a little strange. Like, I wonder how they would have ended Spider-Man No Way Home.
Got you.
She's bored.
Yes. And like I said earlier, he also wrote the Spider-Man 3 with Tom. What's his name?
Tom H.
What's his name? Tom McGuire.
Why'd you call him Tom H?
Because in my mind, I wrote the other one.
Oh, well, his name is Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, not Tom. God damn it. There's so many. And like, why are their names similar? Anyway, so he has a little superhero experience, but they brought him on for this one. So there you go. A little background information there. So let's get into it, Kaylee. Since you have such opinions about this, I think you should start and you should take it away.
Okay.
But let's be nice.
No, okay. I don't like this movie. It was not good. And I think it's mostly stemmed from my hate for Wanda and her love for Vision. Wanda and Vision is probably the stupidest couple I've ever run into in my entire life. First of all, who the fuck falls in love with a robot? That man is not real.
Robot.
Yes, he is.
He has a heart.
No, he don't. He did. First of all, he did.
She killed him. That was really traumatic.
She killed him for him to come back to life, so it didn't really count.
But then he died again.
Yeah, but she didn't kill him this time.
Not her finishing the job.
I'm trying to talk shit, not you.
Not her finishing the job. She said, this bitch stopped talking shit earlier. Is she even going to the bathroom, or she's just burying?
I don't know what she's doing.
What are these urges?
She's out of control right now.
As you were.
Oh, you want me to keep going while she's taking a doo-doo?
Yep. And we'll just stop again.
I don't like Wanda Vision, the show either. The show was very terrible for me. I got off my track now because of fucking Kiki.
I know. Kiki ruins everything.
What was I talking about?
You were saying that he is a robot and she killed it. I'm about to put her up. She's not even trying. She just flicking shit around.
She's so extra. She fits right into the dynamic. I'm trying to talk about how much I hate this movie, and Kiki keeps stopping me with her psychoticness. Anyways.
Runs in the fan.
Okay. So I do not like this movie because of Wanda. That's really what it stems down to. It's just, I don't like Wanda. I think it's just so stupid that she fell in love with a robot. He's not real.
Is he a robot though?
Yes.
I mean, but didn't he get life?
No.
When did he get feelings? Because he has the stone or whatever. So doesn't the stone give him life?
Yeah, it is his life source, but he don't have feelings.
How do you know?
He's a robot. Robots don't have feelings.
And he turns to a man. Is he a robot or is he flesh? I thought he's fleshy.
No, he's not fleshy.
What do you mean? How do you know?
Haley, what movie are we talking about?
Well, because they have kids.
Okay.
So he must have a little bit of
but you didn't watch WandaVision.
Okay, I didn't.
They're not real. They're magic. She made them up.
So even the kids that are in the other universes, but they're in the other univi.
Yeah.
They're
not. I think that's the plural for universe.
Is the univi. In the univi. She has like other kids. So they're real in other places.
I don't think they are. And I have proof. Doctor Strange said they're not real. If Doctor Strange can look into the multiverse and see that they're not real.
I thought he was saying they're not real in your life.
No.
Like don't take them from you in another world.
No, they're not real. So they're magic kids. They're not real kids.
So even in the other worlds, she has projected these kids.
Mm-hmm. Because she's crazy.
Okay. Wow.
Anyways, we'll talk more about that after my overall feelings.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue. Please proceed.
But yes, I don't like this movie because it's not really a Doctor Strange movie. It's like a Wanda movie with Doctor Strange in it. And I really like the first Doctor Strange movie. I started rewatching it and it's a lot darker. It's about a man of science who has lost his ability to become a doctor and like do all these other things. And now he's trying to find different paths to get back to his life, and he ends up being, brought to the awareness of there's more than just science. There's like, I guess, a God.
Magic.
I don't know. Yeah, magic too.
And energies or whatever.
So it was a very powerful message of like that kind of awakening from a man of God or from a man of science. And it was darker. It was more grittier. There was still sarcasm in it. It was kind of funny, but it was a lot more to it. There's a lot more of a punch. To this one, this reminded me more of like Suicide Squad, the second one with the shark guy. Yikes. Like it was in the big, what is it? Starfish monster. Like that is the vibe I got from this movie from the jump with the monster. Like that monster back there.
That monster running free.
And it wasn't the same vibe that I got from Doctor Strange the first time, and I was so disappointed with the vibe that I got this time. And the fact that it started off with fucking Wanda and her stupid ass journey of wanting to be a mom. I'm not a monster, I'm a mom. No, bitch, you're the same. They're the same thing. Monsters and mothers are the same. Yeah, I just did not like this movie because of Wanda. I fucking hate her and her stupid ass relationship. Find another robot, bitch. Build that man back. I don't know. What was your overall thoughts?
My overall thoughts after that lovely start.
Mm-hmm. Very positive.
I think I've lowered my expectations for these kinds of movies. Yeah. So I actually didn't hate it that much. I actually kind of preferred it a little bit because they did attempt at some horror and some darker themes. My most favorite parts were when Wanda was being all crazy. My most favorite part was when they were she was killing all the superheroes in the other universe.
Oh yeah, that was
fun.
Cool.
I was like, oh look, action. And action where I know that they're like, I'm like, oh, they're really not gonna live. Like that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So I did like that. I could see that they tried some elements of kind of messing with the, what's it called? The multiverse and all these other things. It just a little boring. I feel like the America character was truly not needed. She could have been like a magical rock or something.
Yep.
That had the same powers. And I don't mean that to like disrespect that character. It just, I feel like they didn't use her as much as they really could have. Like she didn't really add to the film.
Not at all.
Other than being kind of like, she was just there and she had some lines here and there. I don't know what her character journey was. I don't know where she was at the beginning versus the end. She had no character arc or development in my opinion. Nope. And they really could have just found a magical sphere that had the same powers and been throwing that thing around and it would have been the same. because they gave her a backstory. She had her 2 moms that she accidentally most likely killed. She feels really bad, and she's struggling, and she's a loner, and she's going in and out between different universes. She doesn't even have herself to look for in the other universes to feel some kind of like camaraderie. She just has herself. She's betrayed. She has a really good setup for a backstory. It goes nowhere. We don't really talk about her parents. I think Doctor Strange kind of has a little bit of a conversation with her, and this Doctor Strange didn't happen to kill her, so I guess that was her coming to terms with it. But other than that, I'm like, she just kind of was a side character when I feel like she could have been a way bigger part in this film.
Yep.
So for me, that was just disappointing because she just kind of kept coming in and out, and I just wasn't sure what they were doing with her, and we never really resolved her issue with her mothers. Even if they truly did die, I'm not saying she has to reconnect with them, but it just seemed very like we just forgot about it. Like, oh yay, he didn't kill me this time. I'm happy now. What are we gonna do? Let's. I'm like, what? Anyway, so that was probably my bigger thing, is just being disappointed that they didn't really go anywhere with her in this movie. But I'm sure they're gonna use her for the next couple movies. So I'm hoping we get to see more development with her later. Yeah, because I did like her. The concept of her is she's the only one who can bounce between different
multiverses,
realities. Yeah. Well, I don't want to say universe. I keep saying universe, but I really mean parallel universes. Like, because there's other universes in every world, but she's truly going to parallel places.
I see what you mean.
If that makes sense, yeah.
Like your computer just did.
Like my computer.
It went to a parallel universe.
It was very long. I don't know. It was okay. I didn't hate it. I did like that they're branching out, and to me this was a little bit more of a darker film.
Not dark enough.
I guess not dark enough for Kaylee. But they did try. They had the horrors of the undead, and he was a zombie.
That was terrible.
And they brought him back.
Bad.
And then how was Wanda defeated again? I don't even remember. She like defeated herself.
Yeah.
She's like, I am crazy. That was kind of a lame.
You were right.
Yeah, to me that was kind of a lame.
It was bad.
Did she kill herself? Because at the end she was like, I should go, and then it crushed on her, and I'm like, that wouldn't kill the Scarlet Witch. She'll be back in 3 business days. It just wasn't. Yeah. And then at the end, his little third eye, and then Charlize Theron comes out, and I'm like, oh, if only I cared to watch the next one. What is it setting me up for? The monsters look silly. It's just very Marvel. It's just kind of like kind of childish a little bit. Yeah. I think I like that's where DC's trying to go, is trying to make it a little more grown, a little more adult, even though they don't do it well. But Marvel tends to teeter the line of childish, in my opinion. Yes. But I understand that because they do have a certain audience they're reaching, like more children. So I understand that they do that. But from what I've seen, what the comics are like, the comics are a lot more adult and darker. And these seem a little like tee-hee, but it is Disney. So I get it, but I just don't think it's for me. I think in comparison, this multiverse film didn't do as good of a job as Everything Everywhere All at Once. Not that those are super comparable, but in terms
comparable
of
enough.
But in terms of the multiverse,
this was so bad.
It wasn't giving me what I wanted. Like, I feel like the possibilities are endless, and
that was what we were shown, was a paint world.
I mean, it's possible. We saw some crazier things in Everywhere, every that other movie.
Yes, and even in the first Doctor Strange, like, he goes through the multiverses too, and it looked so much more trippier. It looked so much more confusing. You're like, what's going on? It's so crazy. And like, if that was like that one reminded me of more of like a horror-y kind of thing than this one. And that I forgot that's how they marketed this movie too. They marketed it as Marvel's scary movie. Whenever we were talking about that at all. It wasn't that at all. But let's talk about WandaVision, because we need to clear some stuff up.
Not clear the air.
We actually do need to clean it. Kiki done blew it up.
You smell it? I'll smell a thing. Thank you, allergies.
But yeah, WandaVision. I have, after talking about this movie a lot and WandaVision a lot, I've come to a realization as to why I did not like WandaVision as much. And it's because it pretended to be a mystery. There was no mystery around it. We already know that Wanda is a Scarlet Witch. We already know that Vision was dead. And we already know that none of this is really happening because Vision is dead. Those kids aren't real. Everybody's under a spell. So we know this already by watching the trailers. We know this already by watching a few episodes. So the fact that it marketed itself as like some kind of creepy thriller, like, oh my God, mystery, what's going on? And then to reveal like, oh God, Vision's dead. Oh my God, she's actually the Scarlet Witch, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was so pointless. If we want to give a backstory to the Scarlet Witch as to how she got there, make it more of a drama. Don't make it a mystery. There was no mystery. We already knew the steps. So it's like, it was like if Smallville tried to be a mystery, like you didn't know that he was going to be Superman at the end. Bitch, we know that's going to be Superman at the end.
Not Superman.
So it's just like, it was just so, that's why I really didn't like WandaVision. Everybody kept saying it was going to get better after the first 3 episodes. And I think it's because the first couple of episodes were in black and white. I'm like, no, my problem wasn't that it was in black and white. My problem is that this shit was so boring the whole fucking time. Nothing happened.
Damn.
So yeah, it's just Vision is dead. Those kids are not real. They were not real in that universe or in that show. So why the fuck would they be real now?
Because she went crazy, or she was like in her mind. But she's also the Scarlet Witch, so you have to give it to her. She hallucinates, her hallucinations or her thoughts are actually low-key real, because she can create stuff.
So if she can't create it, then why can't she create it in this reality?
Because
what's stopping her? If she's so powerful, what's stopping her?
Because maybe she's convinced herself that if she does it in her world, it's fake, but she's convinced herself that the other worlds are real.
Then she needs therapy.
She got to go over there. Well, what's the problem with like settling down and maybe, you know, moving on and finding another man and then having other kids? Like, is that off the table?
I guess it is for her.
She wants those kids in those life. I mean, she loved him. My only other issue as well is that I just feel like if they're going to clearly they set this up.
Yeah.
WandaVision, Doctor Strange 2. I guess I would have liked to see the love between her and Vision more. I just feel like in the movies, like, I'm like, yeah, they're a couple. They needed like a movie or something. I don't know. I just feel like it was very like anticlimactic. Like, I don't care about their relationship enough to truly like see this relationship issues and all this play out that long. Cause I'm like, did she love him that much? Like, I'm like, she did go crazy. Like, I get it. I just feel like it could have been set up a little bit more. I don't know. And I could be wrong. I may not be remembering it very well, but I'm like, I don't really remember the relationship being very, you know, how do you say, significant until, of course, when it was time, you know, during the Endgame series, and she did have to kill him. So I get it.
Yeah.
I don't not get her character. I appreciate that they try to make a little bit of a twist on something. So instead of it being just a monster out to evil, kill the world, I will say I appreciate the fact that they're actually pulling a villain that has more of an original story. So I'll give them that.
I don't think it's original at all.
What do you mean?
I mean,
for them.
Oh, I guess.
I mean, aside from aliens trying to destroy the planet, the world, the universe, whatever, it's pretty original to me.
Yeah. I guess it's like, so there's like that whole story with Superman, not to bring him back into the picture, but you know, he gets married to Lois, they have 2 kids, and then he becomes evil when his family dies. So it is it is a very powerful storyline. You lose all of your family, but those people were real. Lois was a real woman. Those kids were real. Wanda, they're imaginary.
But they're real to her, Kaylee.
So that's what we're supposed to do with schizophrenics too? They're real to them, so let's leave them be? No,
but
get
we
them
have
help.
more sympathy. We have a little. How do you give her help, though?
I don't know, get rid of her. Doctor Strange, get her out. That was me whipping it. Boom. But I think that the Scarlet Witch's powers are pretty cool, but I just think her backstory is very lame and I can't relate. At least with Lois Lane dying and his 2 kids dying, I can relate to that. There are real people to him and to everybody else.
But they're real people to her.
But that doesn't count enough. She
clearly snapped at some point mentally.
Yes.
So you cannot hold her to standards of reality.
Why not?
Because it's not the same. You can't relate. Because she has superpowers that are heightening these mental issues.
Superman has superpowers too.
No, but his powers aren't like specifically subconscious and reality, and she does stuff with her mind and telekinesis. He's just super strong and has other abilities like lasers and such.
But if she's so powerful, why can't she just pretend that those kids are real in her universe too?
Because she's convinced herself, because she has it in her mind that in her world things are not as they should be. Right? Like, she already knows. She's distraught. The pain that she feels waking up every day. Yes. But she was having dreams about the other worlds. So she's convinced herself that her world is not real, but their world is real. So she's going to go over there. So you're wanting a person who's not in their right mind to think logically.
No, she did this in Westview and WandaVision too. She knew that shit wasn't real when she picked up Vision's dead ass body and brought him to that world and made it happen.
But she did bring him alive. So when he was alive during that period of time, he was real.
Well, he was still dead, but yes.
But alive, kind of.
Yes. But if she could do that in Westview, she could do that again now.
Can she just not reprogram him? If he is, as we say, a robot, then why? Is it because the stone is gone? So she can't find like a similar stone? What was that stone? The power stone?
I don't know what it was. The yellow one?
The yellow one?
The piss yellow one. But I mean, if she's so
powerful.
powerful.
Relax.
I hate them so much. It's just like they want me to feel
cause
so
many
bad.
Problems.
Yeah, they want me to feel so bad for them. I'm like, they're not real. Anyways, but if she's that powerful, which she is very powerful.
Okay.
she can make Vision a thing again.
That's what I was thinking.
That
would be my question, is why can't she bring him to life? Or why can't she travel to a alternate reality where he's still alive? That's not an option? And she can just kill the Wanda there?
I don't know. I don't really get it. I think her being the villain was doable. I liked her more as a villain than I did in Wanda Vision, where I was supposed to feel bad for her and her loss, that fake ass loss. So,
well, she did have a loss
of a robot. Like, remember when we had those robot dogs?
But she loved that robot.
I was sad when that robot died too.
You weren't sad at all. You forgot about it.
That little puppy dog.
You forgot about him. He died.
My Tamagotchi.
You just probably put batteries in it.
My Tamagotchi.
Again. Anyway, oh brother, not the Tamagotchi.
That's what Vision was to me. A Tamagotchi. He's fine. Put some batteries in him. That was her love, because they were on the same wavelength. Only he could understand. She needs help. Yes.
There's no help on that earth.
That means the help that she needs is death.
Death to all of them.
I think Wanda is just so stupid. I hate her character. I hate that she fell in love with a robot. I wish that Vision was an alien or something like that. Then I would feel bad, because he was an actual thing that wasn't created by somebody else.
But I think we've seen enough odd YouTube documentaries to know that there are people who fall in love with inanimate objects
or animals.
Wow. Or animals. Or doll.
And we make fun of them.
No.
Yes, we do. Like that man who was having sex with his car. We all roasted him in the comments.
But I'm saying, imagine that kind of person, but they have like really big powers. It would be a problem.
It would be a problem.
So is this that far off? If humans do this every day, let's be honest. And a lot of y'all don't even talk about it. The only ones we see are the ones who are willing to, come out, right? And talk about it on documentaries.
I don't talk about
most of y'all. Oh,
exposed.
Most of the people aren't going to talk about it. So it's like, it's not unrealistic. She just happens to have extra powers that are causing issues for the universe and other universi as we know it.
We can't keep talking about Wanda, but she was such a big part of this movie. We have to move on. But it's just, I really don't like her story. And I think it's the lamest thing that they've ever come up with as a villain, a backstory. If they want to make it seem more like this isn't real, she made it all up, blah, 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 they should have honed in more on that. Made it make sure that we all knew that shit was not real. Because there's some people in the comments are like, well, maybe another universe as it is. It's not real. Those kids are not real. They don't exist.
I didn't think it was that bad. I think you're being a little extra. I think you have a personal vendetta that dragged and carried over from Wanda Vision.
Sure did.
And so you're biased.
Yeah. Okay. And the problem is where?
You know what? We're rocking with that. As long as you know the first step is acceptance. I didn't think it was that bad.
You didn't have to suffer through WandaVision like I did.
Well, now I feel like I need to watch it. I watched the first 2 and I said absolutely not. I'm not watching another I Love Lucy. But they said it got better, and I knew. But now I'm intrigued, and I kind of want to see the story there. And they should have got her that then. As soon as you realize she can hold people hostage in their minds for days and days on end, and they struggle to break free of that, she's not going back outside. She's in the lab, she's in a pod, and I'm so sorry, but you're too dangerous to let free. So I'll say if that's truly what happened, then I don't feel bad for none of this movie, because they really let her run around free.
True.
And still ponder. And still struggle. Like, no therapy, no nothing.
That's what I'm saying. She was over here in her make-believe little forest. Now let's talk about these dreams. I think it's really cool that they use the idea of dreams as peeks into your other parallel lives. I think that was really cool.
Nah.
You don't like that?
Boring. They always want to use dreams for something. That didn't impress me. We're switching now. No, that I don't care. Oh, it's a look into. I'm like, no.
I like dreams. I like to hear about people's dreams. I like to think about my own dreams. Not those dreams as in goals, but the ones that come into my sleep.
Thank you, Kate. We were confused.
I just wanted to make sure that you knew I don't have any real goals. Anyway,
bring out your vision board.
Benny. This is what I wish was this movie. I wish that it was a deeper exploration of the consequences of Doctor Strange's actions.
Which actions?
Imagine being in a position where you can see multiple outcomes at once, basically, and you make the decision that the only way for us to maybe win is for Thanos to win first. And then you affect literally everyone's lives. They all disappear for 5 years, and they all know it was you who caused that to happen. Now that could have been good.
Kind of like the movie, what is it, the Civil War, where they had to look at the destruction that they did throughout the land. You know, whenever they were fighting villains, and then people ended up dying because of the Avengers. So it's kind of like a step back, and I could see that. And everybody knows that he gave the stone to Thanos, and that would be interesting.
And like that could have been more of like what he was doing in the different multiverses instead of that dumb shit where he's like, oh, I wonder where that book is, blah 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 blah. It should have been more of him figuring out what his other selves did. Did they also like go with the plan? Did they find a different plan?
That would have been interesting.
Exactly,
because they did set it up like that a little bit in the beginning when the first one killed America. It was almost like, oh, the other Doctor Strange
tried to. She never died.
Well, she said anyway, child. But you know, yeah. So I could see that, and maybe exploring the different Doctor Strange's versions and the repercussions of his that would have been interesting.
Exactly, it would have been so cool to like, because
maybe
like,
that's the next one with his third eye.
For why? We already passed Endgame at that point, because like that's what Doctor Strange the first one was about. It was a little bit of a darker view into things, and like he was at the brink of like. He had nowhere else to go. He was like, I have to make this work or I can't get back to my home. I don't have any money. My hands are gone. I don't have his Rachel McAdams character. And so it was a lot darker, and it was a rawer look into It was a
Okay, emo 2009.
It was a deeper look into Doctor Strange's character. And so if we kept the same energy, if we kept the same vibe going with this one, I think it could have been spookier. It could have been a lot darker. It could have been more serious. And I think I would have liked it a lot more, because I think I think that's what I like about having superhero movies is real life consequences. Like The Boys was really interesting with that. Batman versus Superman was interesting with that. When they would try to put Superman's ass in court, they said, this man killing everybody, put his ass in jail. But like, I like it when it's more grounded in reality, because I could not imagine making a decision for billions of people to disappear and not know if they were ever going to come back. And then their whole lives went by. 5 years, you're gone for 5 years, your whole lives have gone by.
That would have been another whole movie. People kind of coming back and getting back into the lives of how do you just return after 5 years later. You don't have a job. Your family might have moved on.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
But they just glossed that all over. They're back to the next superhero movie.
They just made it a joke in the beginning. Like they kind of brought it up with that guy talking to him, the Dr. West. And he was like, yeah, when I was gone, my 2 cats died. And we were in the movies together. Some guy laughed so loud at that part.
Yeah. I'm
he
like,
no.
Hey, chill out.
He said, fuck them cats.
He hates cats. I was like, he has 8 dogs. That would be interesting, seeing one where they left kind of... Have you ever seen Stranger Things?
I started the first season. That's it.
Okay. Well,
that's a Stranger Thing right there.
Shut the fuck up. I won't give away too much since you're not there, but kind of a similar thing where somebody disappears, they come back, and then the things still aren't right, even though they've come back. So it'd be interesting to see like if they poofed, you know, the poof. I also watched a show called The Leftovers. I think I talked about that earlier. But anyway, or in another episode. But kind of the same concept. People poofed. Although in this one, I don't think people come back. They literally just disappeared. But I'm like, coming back and then kind of still having a darkness over you, or you're not right. And somehow you're kind of messed up a little bit, or you're never quite right. So I could imagine maybe like one of the superheroes coming back after poofing. And then they're still kind of stuck in this limbo of like existence, non-existence. And then like it's just kind of a mess. I don't know. Something interesting. Because they really did gloss over the whole... People were gone for 5 whole years. You can't just like go back to life.
So in Endgame, in the beginning, you saw the people who were in the support groups of the people that they had lost, because they didn't know if they're coming back either. They thought they were just dead. So like we kind of did that in Endgame, where we had a more serious talk of like, these people had lost loved ones. They don't know where the fuck they went. They just disappeared. They touched on it, but then they just let it go so easily. And it's just like, if y'all want to make a really powerful movie, talk about the actual consequences of these decisions, because we kind of just gloss over it, you know? Like, oh, Superman comes in here and blasts up a whole damn building. There goes like 10 million people. So it's just like, how come these superheroes are able to get away with so many things when the real people who have real lives in that world, they're facing the consequences? Let's get into that.
Let's get into it.
But yeah, that's what I wish would have happened with Doctor Strange. Instead, we got some stupid ass fight with some piano notes. Ooh, that shit lasted too long with his evil self.
They're trying to be control. They're trying to, They try to do a little creative battle there.
It took too long. But yes, wrapping it up. Haley, what is your score?
I give it a out of 5. give it a 2.5 out of 5. It was okay. Nothing I'd see again. I wouldn't say it was great or good. It was okay. It was a Marvel film. I'm not the audience for it. Clearly you aren't either. But do grace us with your, we're all dying to know what you think.
Oh, me? I give this I was going to be generous and give it a 2, but it's down to 1.5. I don't like this movie.
Not
I think
you
it's so bad. Because I gave it a 2 initially, but I give it a 1.5 now. I don't like this movie. I think it was it was disappointing. I like Doctor Strange. I don't like Wanda Vision. Take her ass out. I'm not the target audience for this, but you know who is? My man. And I will do anything for that boy. So I will watch these stupid ass movies and continue to talk shit about him until he cries. Because like I said, I will do anything for that boy, especially bully him.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this movie sucked. I hated it. Don't recommend.
Okay.
But things I do recommend are Instagram at Haley and Kaylee.
Yes.
You can follow us on there. We also have a TikTok at Press Podcast. We have some extra content on there where we talk about different things besides movies.
I'm attacking my rug.
She hates that rug. We also have a website at presspodcast.com where you can catch our blog and our podcast lives there as well. What else do we have, Haley?
We have a YouTube channel at Haley and Kaylee. If you're watching us, obviously you know. If you are listening to us on either Spotify or iTunes or anywhere like that, and you would rather see us, you can come to our YouTube channel. We have a couple other videos too. So rate, like, comment, subscribe. And then... what else we have? We got an email. So presspodcast@gmail.com if you want to email us what you thought about this movie, if we're right, we're wrong, or any other movies you would like us to review.
Let us know in the comments down below. I know nobody will, but I'm sorry for tearing up this movie. I know y'all really go hard for Marvel, but this one was not good, guys. Wake up. You deserve better. We don't know what we're talking about next time, but I'm sure it will be amazing.
That was literally me after the film.
I like that though.
Wow, it is fun.
It is nice. It's like that TikTok. That guy. This is
like
the
I'm
rest
driving a
of
car. Look at the wait. Oh, both of them are like this. Sign us up. We'll be in the next film.
After talking shit, we about to be in the next one.
You know, put them in there. So when they talk shit, they can't.
Yeah,
'cause they were there.
That's true. Now I'm gonna be like,
Nice
I
in the
love this
background.
movie.
Oh, it's wonderful. 10 out of 10.